Massacre Canyon, Trenton, Nebraska. Conspiracy. I have spent my 57 years in the area, including walking the site of the battle and many canyons and river area along that site. My relatives own near 70,000 acres in the area, not counting just a few miles south into Kansas. More of my relatives own 50,000 acres. Needless to say, I was able to talk with a lot of people back in the 1950s when I was a boy, and they all had the same basic story, that the government got the two tribes to fight, and this gave an excuse to move the Pawnee out of the state from their reservation and to set fires in southwest Nebraska, forcing the Sioux to leave as there wasn't enough time to grow grass for the hard winter to come. All this without a costly war. In fact, not a white man was killed in this battle. The G-Man conspiracy covered their tracks well, as they still do today. But as for the Pawnee, well, before the white man showed up, they had a standing army of over 25,000 men from Texas to Nebraska, and they were a force to be reckoned with. But by the summer of 1873, there were just 1,200 Pawnee left, and they were on a reservation. The government granted them one last buffalo hunt and promised the 250 cavalrymen would escort them and protect them from any Sioux attack. The near 800 Pawnee men, women, and children that did go on the hunt, many of the men only carried bows and spears as they wanted to hunt this last hunt in the old ways. This made certain that the Sioux would wipe them out quite easily. It was thought by the people who made up this plan and the goal of taking the 10,000 square miles away from the Native Americans and giving it to the cattle men, and so that's what the name of the game was. The only reason the Sioux failed to wipe out the Pawnee, well, the pure bravery of the Pawnee warriors, who bought time with their lives for the women and children to escape back across the river. As all the primitive battles, even way back in the Vikings 1,000 years ago, or just 150 years ago at the Sioux, the winner of the battle took their time and pleasure with captured women. The death toll, well, it was near 50 dead for the Sioux and 150 for the Pawnee, though written reports by the government place them much less. But again, that's the government reports. But if you talk to the Native Americans, they'll give you a whole different story. As for southwest Nebraska, today it's worth over $2.5 billion, but only because of the conspiracy that drove out the Sioux by using the Pawnee as bait. This is McCook, Nebraska's Mr. Bill. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my future videos and enjoy my past 20 videos that I put on YouTube.